This is Benzinga Live. Spencer Israel and producer AB. What's up, everybody? How we doing?
Someone told me buy high, sell higher.
Let's get Matt Hammond on the show to talk some IPOs. Jake Wojasek from Trend Spider. We have a
breaking news. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Benzinga Live. Happy Tuesday. We've got a very busy week. Of course, CPI data coming out tomorrow. We will do a preview on that, what to expect when it comes to inflation. And we also, if you saw the YouTube title today, we're going to be talking about Rivian. Rivian, one of the hottest stocks on the market, not today, but pretty much every other day this month. Stock is up more than 80% in the last month. You can see the chart here on the daily. Basically just been on this parabolic rise, filling this gap up here. Now right at $25 a share, and we're going to talk about some different options trading strategies. We will have Options Mike joining us in about 10 minutes here, so excited to get Options Mike back on the show. Been a minute since we've talked to Mike. Other stocks making moves today. You got Tesla trading a little bit lower, down about 0.5%. Apple trading lower as well. Let's just take a look at the indices real quick. Your Qs holding steady, holding flat, again, ahead of the CPI print tomorrow. SPY up a little bit, up about 0.2%. And then your Dow Industrial Average showing some strength today, up about 0.4%. So let's look at the different sectors that are moving the market right now. XLE, energy having a good day, up 1.74%. So we'll take a look at some energy names. See which ones are driving the XLE higher. XLF, your financials up a little bit as well. So kind of surprising right now to see Dow, outperforming the SPY and Qs in the day. But hey, I mean, every Dow is going to have its day, some days as well. Let's see, another stock I saw making a move before we started the show. Activision Blizzard up 5.7%. I think the merger, court ruling, and Activision, Microsoft may come Wednesday, Thursday. So, I mean, I think basically this is saying, the market's basically saying that, Activision jumps as court allows the $69 billion acquisition to go forward. So, yeah, here you go. I mean, if you were buying this as kind of an arbitrage trade, trying to get that little juice out, hoping the acquisition went through, you've been rewarded. You can see here on the chart, this is back when, basically it looked like the deal was falling through, the antitrust suits coming in about Microsoft acquiring Activision. But looks like the deal is now going to end up going through, and the stock is trading higher, 5.5%. So big day for Activision. Let me know in the chat if anyone out there is holding Activision right now. Other news. Everyone's talking right now. I mean, let's take a look at AMC shares. I just saw a headline go across on CNBC talking about AMC saying they've already sold 20,000 same-day tickets to either Barbie or Oppenheimer, both coming out, I believe, this weekend. Matt, ticker MAT, of course, the Mattel, the company behind Barbie. Look at this chart. I mean, I thought this was kind of a joke when people started talking about the Barbie trade with the movie. I guess it makes sense, right? If the movie comes out and then all of a sudden Barbie's super popular again, and then people's kids want to go out and buy Barbie dolls. But I don't know, like, has the juice already been squeezed out here, or is there more to go? Because this is interesting. I mean, I think the Barbie movie has gotten so much hype as we head into it. And I don't know. I think the question here will be, does the movie actually coming out, then create even more hype around the Barbie brand and cause more people's kids or whatever to want to go out and buy these toys from Target or wherever they're buying them? Or is it one of those things where it's kind of like the movie's so hyped leading up to it, and then once the movie comes out, kind of that hype and all the marketing and stuff behind it dies down? I'm not sure. Either way, this has just been an impressive move. Again, the ticker MAT, Mattel, the company behind Barbie. What else does Mattel make? Is it all Barbie? Let's look this up real quick. Mattel about Okay, so Barbie, Hot Wheels, Uno. Okay, so they've got some good Fisher Price, American Girl. That's a big one too. I mean, they've got some good brands. It seems like. Um, Fisher Price. I mean, I remember I always had the little Fisher Price basketball hoop as a kid. So yeah, I mean, you know what? I think this does. I think Mattel's gonna keep going up a little bit. It's not. This is just my guess, my opinion. I mean, it looks like from a technical perspective, you might have some resistance right up here at about 22, and you break through that, then you got back up to like 24. This is interesting. I mean, again, the question will be about if the this Barbie movie coming out goes, continues to go viral, goes parabolic, and everyone, starts wanting to buy these toys, then this could be a nice little play here. I'm not quite sure. I do see our first guest hanging out backstage, Mr. Options Mike himself. I'm more interested in shrimp on the Barbie. Yeah, gotta short it now. It's got meme potential. Bro Jogan. Um, I don't know. I mean, I have no clue if this is gonna end up being. I mean, like, is there a comparison? Is there something else that happened like that? I mean, like, think about like chess. Chess, how many people were playing chess after Queen's Gambit? Stuff like that. Like how a show or a movie can really have some of this like cultural impact and get something really popular again. The one thing though is I'm pretty sure, and I don't know too much about it, I'm pretty sure the Barbie movie coming out is more like geared toward adults. I could be wrong about that. I think it is. Let me see what it's like rated. If it's a PG-13, yeah. So it's not like supposed to be a kids movie. It's supposed to be, I think, like more for like maybe people maybe who grew up like Gen Z millennials who grew up with Barbies and stuff. So maybe because the movie isn't as much a kids movie, maybe it won't have as big of an impact on sales. I'm not quite sure because I think like if a bunch of I think Ken is Barbie's like love interest, maybe brother. I don't know. I don't know. I got to read up on my Barbie lore, especially if I'm gonna buy some Mattel stock. But I like that's the one thing I think is that if the movie again is more for like 20+ year olds that grew up with Barbies, 15 years ago, then those probably aren't going to be the demographic. Those like older, in their 20s and 30s, probably aren't going to be the demographic of people that are then watching the movie, then going out and buying Barbie dolls from Target again or whatever. But again, who knows? So this will be interesting. Yeah, that's Raz. I don't know. That's where I don't know. I think in real life he is Barbie's brother. I have no clue. I might end up watching the movie and get back to you. I don't know. I'm not making any promises about that. Going back to the SPY real quick. Let's check on a 2-minute chart. Looks like we're kind of running out of some steam up here. Looks like the S&P, the SPY index got up to about 441 and is starting to come off a little bit. So we'll keep watching this. Of course, a lot of the big names that have been moving the market higher. You look at Tesla, you look at Apple, having a little bit of a down day today, but nothing like too drastic. You're not seeing a lot of these names down multiple percentage points. It's really just kind of a I think slower day for a lot of these big tech names. And then overall, the market is still holding up. I mean, look at the Dow up, nearly 0.5% right now. We just talked about energy being strong. ExxonMobil up about 1.15%. You've got Chevron is up about 1.6%. So, I mean, these things are these oil companies showing some strength. I mean, still very cheap. I think with the oil stocks, what you're basically looking at right now is if you're interested in buying oil stocks, shorting oil stocks, whatever, you really just want to you're basically just betting on are we heading toward a recession or not. If you think there's going to be some sort of grand economic slowdown, whether it's just domestic or in China, wherever, oil will probably sell off a little bit from here, and these oil stocks will probably come down. If you think the economy is going to remain strong, and we've gotten all this great data when it comes to, strong labor, the U.S. avoiding a recession, all this stuff, then I could see these oil stocks continuing to trade well again if the economy stays humming on, humming, which it pretty much has been. It's been firing on all cylinders, and I think a lot of people are still are worried about potential more interest rate hikes coming that will eventually slow down the economy, or so the thought process goes. But so far, that hasn't really been the case, even though the Fed's now been raising since what, last March, and the economy's been ticking. No, I don't think I'm blonde enough for that, but appreciate it. Or ripped enough. I think I saw a picture on Twitter the other day of Ryan Gosling. I always get Ryan Gosling and Ryan Reynolds mixed. It's Ryan Gosling. I went over this yesterday. Ryan Gosling's one of the new Barbie movie. I saw a picture of it on Twitter. It looks like he got pretty ripped for the Ken role, unless it was some like Photoshop or something. But I mean that makes sense, right? Because I mean like you're playing a like action figure almost. Like we're always very, like hard plastic. You got to get that body in shape for that. So XCS up, oil exploration and equipment services not dead. All right, let's go ahead and bring our first guest on of the day, Mr. Options Mike himself. Let's give Mike our very special Zinger Nation welcome. When we come back, we'll see what charts Mike's been watching and what types of trades he's been putting out. Mike, how you doing?
Hey B, how you been, man? What's up, Zinger Nation?
What is up? I like the shirt. There we go. It's good to have you on. It's been too long. What have you been trading?
Today I'm into some Square, some PayPal.
Okay, so
just kind of following the market where it's going. It's going into these smaller names. It's being forced to sell these Magnificent Seven, right? The big seven stocks that are now 50% plus of the Qs are going to have to be pared down over the next couple of weeks. So they're rotating into the smaller names.
Yeah, and I think that's, there was a lot of talk, Mike, about the fact that, the market was being kind of driven by a few select names. And then now it looks like we're getting a little bit more, like you said, some of these smaller names. I mean, I was checking out, you said what, Square and PayPal?
Mm-hmm.
Square, PayPal, another stock having a great day today that's kind of in a similar space, the fintechy space is Upstart, up another 4%. Upstart's been trading really well. I mean, out of all these names, are there ones that you like long as like swing trades, or are you more so just kind of day trading in and out of them?
Right now I'm sitting in some Square. I plan on swinging that. It has a gap to fill all the way up to the 72, 73 area. PayPal just pushed into its big gap as well. I don't think we have my charts up, but you can see that, you got some big moves here on these. You got some big gaps to fill on these names. I like them both for that reason. You see PayPal pushing up into this gap. So these guys have room to run. If they want to rotate into them, they look good. Coin, I have no idea, but I will tell you, all these crypto names are suddenly starting to move. Coin had a massive move today. Look at the size of this move. You see Riot moving, Mar moving. It looks like they're trying to front run a move in crypto here that they think is coming. And this force to sell these names is not a bad thing. If the market was really unhappy and they wanted to, we'd be rolling over here, right? And we're not rolling over. The market's holding in just fine. It's summer. We have earnings season kicking on Monday, and I heard you talking about a recession. I mean, at this point, does anybody really think we're heading for any kind of major recession? The economy is holding in fine, and somehow the Fed is, believe it or not, against all odds, are managing a soft landing, or really the market's just kind of ignoring it. The market's kind of tuned out the Fed. It's tuned out inflation. It's tuned out the war in Ukraine, and it's looking at names, and it's just saying, okay, I want to trade these names. If I can't trade Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, Meta, Nvidia, whatever, the Amazon, Google, I'm going to trade the D-Dogs of the world, the Coins, the Squares, the PayPals, the SoFis, the UPSTs. And we've seen this massive change in character in the last couple of days in this market, and it's a broadening out. It's exactly what we needed. The banks are up, energy's up. It's good to see.
Yeah, I mean, everything, like you said, energy and the banks are up, which, typically when I see the financials and energy trading up, it's a sign that, okay, the market feels okay about the economy right now. Typically if we're all, in recession mode or worried about a recession, you typically see finance and energy trading off. But I mean, with these like smaller tech names, I saw someone in the chat say Roku's up, 10, 11% today, been up 20% in the past 2 days.
Huge.
Your Upstarts, all these, like, I mean, a lot of these names are names that we saw run before the market kind of turned over and we entered a bear market when growth was,
But we're not in a bear market anymore. We're in a bull market. That's the
right.
argument I
Yeah,
make.
right. So I'm saying a lot of these names were named, like if you look at the upstarts, the Rokus of the world, basically all of these topped out when growth topped out in, November 2021 before the market topped out in January of 2022, a couple months later. Like, I think a lot of people probably look at these names and see Roku up 10%, see Coinbase up 30% the last month or whatever, and don't necessarily see that as a sign of a strong market. Do you agree or disagree with that viewpoint?
I disagree. These names have come in, they've gotten more closely priced to their actual valuations based upon what they're doing. And the fact that the market's broadening out is a good thing. I mean, if you're a fund manager, you don't make money being safe. You make your big bucks at the end of the year by going in names that can grow and that can move. And while McDonald's is a good name, and Visa and Starbucks or names like that, or Caterpillar, they generally very often don't move very quickly. A GM or a GE barely moves sometimes. You need to go into growth names like Roku, Coin. That's what's going to pay your bills at the end of the year for you and get your bonuses. So I think this is a strong sign for the economy. And, I think this is great. I think it broadening out to what we needed. We've all been complaining that they keep buying the same 7 to 10 names every day, and they're finally doing something different. And it's not you, but you said people are saying, well, this is not a good sign. I mean, what would you like? What would you like them to buy here? Or would you like them to sell the market? And I think there's a lot of people out there that really want this market to come in. And, every day they've had a chance to kill this market, not today, but the previous 3 sessions, and they didn't. They bought it right back up. SPY popping to highs of the day here. I mean, this market is in bull mode. And at this point, everybody just needs to kind of get on board with this program and realize that dips right now are shallow.
Yeah, and I mean, I think like you take all the things into account, all the different headwinds that we were looking at, a year ago, 6 months ago, when the market was lower, and whether you were looking at, a potential recession, people
Right.
thought we were like for sure heading to. It wasn't a question of, are we heading toward a recession or not? It was a question of how bad of a recession will it be, how long, and then we avoid that. Inflation obviously has come a ways down, so if you take all these things into account, it makes sense why the market's up and trading higher. And I think a lot of people have been maybe expecting some sort of a big downturn, but I think fundamentally, like, things are, I'm not going to say like, oh, we're 10 out of 10, everything's perfect right now, and knock on wood, but it seems like things are going well. And so I don't know why there are people out there, Mike, at least that I see on Twitter and whatnot, that are still kind of in that perma bear mode, and they're oh, the Fed's going to keep raising higher for longer, the market's not going to. And it's like, it doesn't seem like the market cares. It seems like it just wants to keep going up.
Well, that's the change, right? If you notice the last couple of months, the market no longer reacts to the Fed speakers. The market no longer reacts to inflation data, right? It basically just sits there, gets a little bit of a move, but not a huge move off of it. It just doesn't care. And the market's looking beyond this now. The market's looking to the future, and it's saying, yeah, the Fed may raise 2 more times this year and get us up to the another 0.50 basis points, but it doesn't care. It's built it in. It's saying, I'm good with that. Now, if the Fed came out and said, I'm going to raise another two full points, the market may have a huge problem with that. But the Fed's not saying that here. And you're seeing dissent among the Fed as well. So I think the market's just saying, fine, we'll price in your 2 price hikes. Everything's fine. We have earnings season coming, man. Next week, everything starts to really heat up. We get the bank starting on Friday. We got Tesla and Netflix going next week on Wednesday night together. I mean, this is what it comes into. So these companies now that have run, they got to show that they can maintain this. And it's not going to be about what they did for this quarter. It's going to be about how they guide. And that's what we all have to be looking at now. And creates a lot of opportunity, these names.
Yeah, and again, I mean, like, this will be, I think, a big, as we head into earnings season. Of course, CPI tomorrow. We've got a lot of numbers and economic data points that will help, determine the market's next move. Like you said, Mike, SPY breaking out here, highs a day. You want to pull up a SPY chart on the a shorter time frame, and we can see this move.
Here's your highs of the day, and if you're looking for a shorter time frame, I mean, it's got no range, and that's the one thing I would tell everybody here who's trading today is that for me, the indexes are not the place to be right now as it's going highs of the day here. It's the individual names, because the the indexes right now is not where they're playing. They're playing in the individual names, and that's where you're going to make your money every day. That's where you need to look for the names that are outperforming. Meta, I'm hearing just somebody screaming here at my head. Yeah, Meta highs of the day, right? This one on a break here, going for the 300 level. Try to get there yesterday, got caught up in all the selling on the Qs, and here it is going right back for it. This market is resilient. I would just stick with the names that are working. I continue to look for growth names. Not that I don't like a McDonald's. It's not that I don't like JP Morgan, but the market, the money's going to be made in tech and these growth stocks. It's not going to be made, it'll be slower making a McDonald's or a JP Morgan or a Honeywell, right? These are not the type of companies that they're going to move quickly most of the time.
I mean, this Meta run has been absolutely incredible. It was less than $100 back in November, back up to nearly 300 now. So if you bought Meta, at its lows, you've now more than tripled your money in just a short 6-7 months or so. So an incredible run for Meta. And yeah, like you said, Mike, I mean, I think there's a lot of these kind of more, value type stocks that people probably were in 6 months ago, a year ago, and people thought, well, recession's imminent, right? Okay, let's buy McDonald's because McDonald's is going to be safer and they pay a nice dividend. And even if the stock goes down, it's not going to go down as a lot of these other growth stocks. Well, now we're not as worried about that recession. I think you probably have a lot of people that are selling those value names and starting to look, like you said, at the Rokus of the world, at the upstarts, at the Rivians of the world. I mean, I don't know if you've been watching this move that Rivian's made over the past month or so.
I have. I mean, the last couple of days have been incredible. I mean, to me, I said this on Sunday, I wouldn't chase this move anymore. Let it come in, let it reconnect with the 8-day. But I mean, just an incredible move. This was one of my names I had as an outperform name on the year, and it finally is starting to actually work here after months of doing absolutely nothing. But it's again, they're looking for growth. They're looking for stable names. And the thing you have to look at, they're looking for stability. One of the reasons they kept piling into big tech this year because it has a lot of money, it has cash reserves, right? So they're not in danger of going away. I hear some of the analyst people out there saying that the run in tech is over, the second half will be different. I'm like, as soon as they rebalance the Qs, they're going to go piling back into these names, right? You guys do realize that they're going to pile right back into the Apples and Microsofts and Metas and the Nvidias of the world because, they're just selling them because they have to. They don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, I just think, like, I want to buy some of these names right now, the upstarts, the Rokus that, I think, like you said, the individual names, that's where you're going to get your returns, your Rivians. But, like, I mean, would you just look at them case by case to determine, like, are they overbought right now? Do they have room to run? Or
I would, or I'd wait for earnings, right? We're about to start earnings season, so you could wait and see what they report. Maybe you get a dip off of a bad report, and you can buy into them there.
Got it.
I don't expect everything to be roses, right, on earnings. Like, let's, Palantir, one of these long-term moves. Look at the size of this move since that last report. They're going to need a stellar report. They talked about they're going to be cash flow. They're going to be profitable for the rest of the year. They talked about their growth, but now they're going to have to hit it, right? So they got that on this gap up here. That was that gap and go up to here. Now in this quarter, they're going to have to hit it, right? They're going to actually show they're delivering upon the guidance they gave. And the market's not only that, going to be looking for them to say, oh, and we're improving our guidance, saying we're going to be more profitable, we're going to be growing faster. And that's what you need.
Got it. Well, what about, with Rivian, do you have any types of option strategies you'd be playing right now? I mean, we've gotten to a point now where the stock is up like, 100% in the last month. Would you be looking at, potentially selling some options on it or?
I mean, I don't like to just try to short names because they've run too much because these names have a mind of their own. I do think this 28 area is going to be a major test for it. It's got a lot of resistance here. So 28 through 29, then you start getting into that. I mean, what I would do is look for a dip and I would go out in time. If you really want to own options on this, you got to go out in time. You can go out to January if you think they're really going to be strong. And you can, the options here are not horrible. They're not great. The 30 calls, though, are trading around $3.80. And there's 2,500 of them out there today in volume, 25,000 open interest. That would be let's see if I can get this up here for you. Right? These right here would be a nice place, not a bad place to give that a try.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, I was looking at some like potential. I'm actually kicking myself because like a month ago, I was looking at some like leaps on Rivian, didn't pull the trigger, and those leaps are probably up, a couple 100% at this point. But you know how it goes, Mike. There's always, more trade opportunities out there. There will
Always,
always be ones that you missed or you could have got and you didn't get, and then but there will always be more.
always. So, everybody keeps asking me, stick with the course. It's a bull market. Stick with what's working. Stick with the technology sector. Even these smaller names, I wouldn't chase them up here, but look at the Qs now going highs of the day, Google highs of the day. I mean, here, I just keep looking at my charts and saying everything here is going highs of the day. Microsoft, which was beaten up all day long, just popped the highs of the day.
Oh my God! SPY made another move higher too. I mean, we went up 40 cents on the SPY in the last like 5 minutes while we were talking. I mean, this thing is running. I have some open calls on SPY that expire tomorrow. Up 65% on them right now. Might start trimming that position, but I kind of want. I mean, the whole reason I bought them was, trying to play this. I have a feeling the inflation numbers are going to come in light tomorrow, and then the market hopefully will then rally on that.
They could. I mean, all I care is inflation continues to show it's trending down.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely don't need it picking back up right now. And I know there was some fears about that last week when I think it was last Friday when we got more jobs data. The wage growth was like higher than expected, which some people think could. Yeah. I mean, we're going to see more about I mean, I actually saw from there's a private company that tracks inflation somehow, Trueflation. And they had it at like 2%. They said, yeah, let me pull this up real quick.
I only got about a minute, bud, or two.
Yeah, yeah. Well, either way, Mike. Yeah, thanks for coming on. It's always great to have you on.
Thanks for having me.
I'm gonna drop your Twitter in the chat, Options Mike, so people can get more if they want to follow you, get some more information there. I mean, this market's crazy, Mike. We're gonna have to get you back on next week for like a quick follow up because it seems like this market's moving quickly now. Things are happening. We've got these names, these growth tech names that are making moves again, whether it's Roku, Upstart, Rivian. So we gotta really kind of stay on top of these.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me on. Stay with it. By the way, love Snow, but it's a growth company without growth, and that's not what the market's looking for right now. You guys have a good one. I'll catch you later.
All right, Mike. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. All right, guys, that was Options Mike on Twitter. You can go follow him at Options Mike. Link is in the chat. Let's go ahead and pull my Benzinga Pro back up because we are rallying. Put your rally caps on. S&P 500 up nearly 0.5% right now. Going down to the 2-minute chart, you can see here, I mean, how strong this has been the past few minutes, breaking out, making new highs. 44163 right now. I'm looking for 443 on the day. I'm hoping for that at least. I'm not saying that's where I think we're going to get. As you can see here on the 2-minute chart, basically, let's go to a 30-minute chart because our recent highs on the SPY, which we've hit twice, have been 444.30 about. So we're only a few bucks off, not like the all-time highs on the SPY, but the most recent highs. Let's go to a daily here. You'll see. Yeah, I mean, like once we break out of here, then you got to go all the way back to April 2022 to find the last time we were this high on the SPY. I hope SPY keeps going high, going higher. Again, I've got some open calls on that. Let's go back to Rivian real quick, and I want to discuss some option strategies. So I don't mind right here, and I think for me, I'm just gonna speak like for myself right now because that's I can't speak for everyone. Everyone's gonna have different time frames. Everyone's gonna have different investing goals. Because I, have time on my side as an investor. Rivian is one of these names that I want to own long term, and I have a lot of reasons for wanting to own Rivian long term, and I can get into those in a second. With that said, knowing that I don't mind holding shares of Rivian long term, I'm going about this with a type of wheel strategy again, and this is going to be for me what I'm going to do because of my investing, goals and how I'm willing to, sit on Rivian stock for years and years and years. And hopefully in 10, 15, 20 years, it's a lot higher than it is today. So the basics of a wheel strategy go like this. I will sell puts on Rivian at say we're at $24 right now, say at $20 with enough cash in my account to cover those puts if needed, meaning if I sell one put at $20 and then Rivian ends up going down to $20, I will fill that. I will exercise that option, buy 100 shares of Rivian at $20. So what would that be for $2,000? And then now I own those shares at $20. Now I'm long these shares at a price that I have determined. I have predetermined that I'm willing to own that, whether it's $20, whether it's 18, whatever it is. I'm going to pick a price that I'd be willing to buy 100 shares of it there. And then you sell the put. Now, either two things are going to happen. Either A, the stock is going to stay where it's at or keep going up, and I collect that premium for free. I just pocket that cash. Or B, the stock does dip down in there, and then I just get filled at that lower price. Now, here's where, the wheel strategy can, maybe not work so well. You want to kind of have an existing position, because let's put it this way. Let's say I'm selling puts on Rivian and the stock just keeps going up. Sure, I might be collecting that free cash, that premium, but realistically, I probably would have made more just by being invested in it from the get-go. Again, in this scenario, if the stock just keeps going up. So ideally, I have an existing position. I have, my shares, and I'm selling puts. That way, if the stock does keep going up, I'm collecting the premium from the wheel strategy, as well as gaining, getting those gains from the stock that I'm holding going up as well. So for me personally, because I have time on my side, because I wouldn't mind owning Rivian stock just long term, this is the best strategy for me. This is what I'm going to be doing with Rivian. Other than that, if you're super long, you think, okay, we're at $25 right now, we're going to be at 75 by, the end of the year. You could be looking at some outdated leaps. Problem with the leaps on a stock like Rivian is the stock's a little bit more volatile. It has some, growth expectations. So typically those are going to be a little bit more expensive than if you were looking at leaps on other types of stocks. So why am I so bullish Rivian right now? Well, part of it is, you got to take these cues from the market. It's getting a lot more attention. I was writing about this the other day, or doing some research. Some of the stats and data regarding just pickup trucks in America is astounding. So if you look at the top 5 most sold vehicles in the United States, the top 3 of them are all trucks. The F Series, Ford's F Series, the Chevy Silverado, as well as the Dodge Ram. If you look at the statistics, I think pickup trucks across the world make up about 6% of vehicles that are on the road. So out of every 100 vehicles, automobiles in the world, if you just pulled 100 randomly, about 6 of them would be pickup trucks. Here in America, it's more than 3 times that. It's more than 20% of the cars being sold right now are pickup trucks. With that said, you don't have that many people making a lot of electric pickup trucks right now. You've got Ford and Ford's Lightning, which, I think Ford has ran into some production problems. I do like Ford, and I like Ford long-term, and that's part of the reason that I do like Ford long-term too, is because when you look at that truck market in the United States, Ford kind of dominates it, along, of course, with Chevy and Dodge. But people that are Ford people love Fords. And I think there will be a lot of people that do get the Ford Lightning. You see some of the things you can do with it. You can plug in a generator and power your home. You can, do all these cool different things with the Ford Lightning. So I like Ford Lightning too. But Rivian's product is good. It's on the streets already. And I think if you compare that, say, to like a Tesla, and I'll be the first to say this, I'm not bullish the Tesla. Well, okay, what is going on? Is this right? Can someone help me out here? Did something happen with the volume? Oh, is this because there was a stock split or something? Why is the volume so much drastically higher just right at the new year? Maybe like a different way volume was tracked? I have no clue. I don't think Tesla is going to come out with the Cybertruck in the next year and a half. I mean, that's my hot take. Is it's what, July 11th, 2023 right now? July 11th, 2024, I don't think Cybertrucks will be being sold or on the road. And maybe not even ever. Oh, man. SPY dipped hard. My calls just got clobbered. All good. ARBs were getting crushed in this deal. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Wait for a pullback so the premiums pay better. Yeah, and that's the thing is I think with Rivian right now, you need to like if I were selling puts on it because it's been trading up so much, those puts probably aren't, that valuable. So, I mean, bottom line is the pickup truck market in the United States is huge. People in America absolutely love their pickup trucks. Whichever one of these electric vehicle companies is able to kind of capture that market will benefit greatly. And right now, the way I see it is it stands like, Rivian has the head start and the best electric pickup on the road right now. Behind that, you've got the Ford and Ford Lightning. So this is how I'm ranking my EV companies just based on pickups. Rivian, Ford, then your GMs, because of course GM's got Chevy as well as Dodge, I believe, or Chrysler. I don't know. And then Tesla lower. I'm not saying this is going to be like the biggest problem in the world for Tesla. I think a lot of Tesla's strength recently has been because it's been doing well internationally. And if you look at like the consumer habits of how people buy cars in Europe, it's definitely a lot less pickup trucks. So if Tesla's just slinging Model Ys and Model X's like all across the world and in Europe and stuff, maybe it doesn't matter that they don't capture this pickup truck market in the United States. But I do think the company Tesla has now spent a decent amount of time and resources on the Cybertruck. And again, just from what I've been reading about it, from everything that I've seen, like I just do not think this thing is going to be. Let me look it up real quick. Cybertruck release date. As of July 2022, the start of limited production is estimated to start in mid-2023. As of January 2023, the start of mass production is estimated to be 2024. However, as of February 2023, Elon Musk said that Cybertruck will be available later in 2023 with deliveries planned to begin by the end of Q3 2023. So we're in Q3, aren't we? First 3 months and the second 3 months gets you to the end of June. We're in Q3. This is July. So by the end of in the next 3 months, Elon Musk, I'll show you guys what I'm looking at right here. Elon Musk stated that the Cybertruck will be available later in 2023 with deliveries planned. All right, I'll make a bet with anyone right now. I'll bet you that by the end of 2023, by the end of Q3, so this would be what, the end of September, that their Cybertruck will not be doing deliveries. Oh, here, there's a fresh insider article. Tesla truck still delayed. What to know about Cybertruck's release date, price, specs, and semi-comparisons. Tesla is finally ready to throw its hat in the most important vehicle segment in the United States. This is what I've been saying. In the United States, whoever dominates the truck market is going to do well. This is the most important market you can be in the United States, is the pickup truck market. The biggest, the most valuable consumer product line in the United States, in the world probably, is the Apple's iPhone. In the United States, the number 2 most valuable consumer product line is Ford's F-Series. So that shows you just how big these pickup trucks are, that it's iPhones and then the Ford pickup trucks. The long-awaited Cybertruck with its futuristic design and embarrassing shattered window reveal is finally set to enter production in 2023. In the years since its first reveal, Tesla CEO Elon Musk has slowly revealed what are the features. All right, I don't really care about the features. When will a Tesla... Musk confirmed in May that Tesla will make the Cybertruck available to customers later in 2023. So here's the thing, is like available to customers, maybe to buy. I still don't think this thing's going to get delivered. I don't think these things are going to start getting delivered in 2023. We'll see, though. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong for the, Tesla fanboys. Holy shit. 1.8 million Cybertrucks have been ordered. All right. We'll see. Shall see. Yeah, should we do another quick check on ATVI? SPY coming back up a little bit. ATVI is... Ooh! ATVI was up about 5% when we started the show, up about double that now, up 11%, up above $90. So yeah, Jay Rice in the chat saying the ARB's having a nice day on this, that have been getting beaten up because, the Microsoft, the Microsoft Activision deal, if you look at the chart, typically with these mergers and deals, you'll have like huge swings. The deal gets approved. It go like today, it's up 11%. Deal doesn't get approved. It's down, whatever. Microsoft's chart, sorry, Activision's chart since this deal started has basically just been like a slow bleed. Like there was like, like the deal got announced, went up 20%, and then it's just kind of been a slow bleed of like bad news. We don't think the deal's going to go through. And then all of a sudden today, bam, deal through, stock back up. So good to see those ARBs, hopefully getting some of their return on investment back today. I know some people that definitely did get long Activision, trying to take is it slowing? Probably. I mean, shit, it's already up 11. I don't know what the buy, what's the, let's pull up our Benzinga Pro real quick. And please smash the like if you have not already. Follow me on Twitter. It's up in the top left of your screen at AaronBree5. Going back to the Barbie movie, it is going to lead to higher sales during the Christmas holiday season. That means that Mattel stock will reach 52-week highs in December. I like the call, Buglog. I mean, I like the conviction. This is what it. Don't come at me with stock predictions or conviction unless you are gonna lay it out for me like Buglog did. He's got his thesis. He told me exactly when he thinks the stock is gonna hit new 52-week highs. I'm about it. Again, my biggest question about this whole idea of the Barbie movie then pushing Barbie sales is it's kind of counterintuitive. Again, look ahead. Like, what's the biggest age demographic for buying Barbie dolls? Like an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old? I don't think those are the people that are gonna be watching the movie. Maybe it's their parents that are gonna be watching the movie. Then the Barbie's in their head, and then they go to the Target and they see it. I mean, I'll tell you what, the Mattel would be stupid not to be capitalizing on all this buzz that the movie has. Like it should be every time you go into a Target right now, every time you go into a Walmart and like hit the child section, the toy section, they should have huge, Barbie stuff with the movie and all this stuff. How does Baba play in this Prime Day thing? I mean, I don't know. I think just e-commerce in general, if e-commerce is like the e-commerce is seen as strong. But here's the thing with both Baba and Amazon. I don't think investors care about the e-commerce side of the business. They're not the profitable side, right? Like if you're buying Amazon stock right here, you're not buying Amazon stock for the consumer store, for people going on Amazon to buy books or household items or clothes. Amazon doesn't make that much money off it. How much money? Think about it. When I order an $8 phone case off Amazon, and that's how much this phone case was that I used. Great phone case, by the way. I drop my phone all the time, doesn't break. When you order an $8 phone case off Amazon, and they somehow, some way ship it to you the very next day, sometimes even the same day. How much money is Amazon really making off that when you factor in no, they don't make it. In fact, they're losing money on a lot of it, but they know that by doing this, by providing this incredible service for consumers, that then Amazon has like customers for life. And when people are buying, if I'm buying Amazon stock here at $129, it's not for the e-commerce side of the business. It's for the AWS. It's for the cloud computing. And I think it's the same thing with Baba. And I think that's why, when Baba announced that it was going to be breaking up its business into its different verticals, people got so excited because then you could get exposure to just Baba's, cloud computing. And you didn't have to worry about this e-commerce side of the business that, again, doesn't really make money. It's valuable to have as a business because it's kind of like your top of funnel, right? Like I'm an Amazon Prime member. I pay them $120 a year because it's nice to be able to order, a new phone case or a new hat and it'll get delivered tomorrow. But that's not how Amazon's making its money. What were we gonna look? We were gonna look at Activision real quick. Someone said the buyout price is 95. I mean, shit, you still got a few percentage points there to get there if you're that bullish on the deal getting through. Oh, okay. So here's what happened. So the U.S. court said the deal can continue to go through, but there was still this stuff in the U.K. or in Europe, and then the U.K. announced that it was going to looks to pause trial over Microsoft purchase. So I think that's where you get the double whammy, where it first went up 5-6%, and then now it's up double that. Alrighty, y'all. We've got some things in BZHQ to take care of, so we're going to wrap up a little bit early today. Thanks again to everyone who joined in with us today. If you want more from me, follow me on Twitter, AaronBree5. I'm going to start tweeting more about markets and different trade ideas. But cloud service coming out of China with all the security issues could be tricky. No, I mean, wow, I just got really weird deja vu. Like I was reading this comment, and I feel like I've read this comment before, and then I saw Jay Rice's comment right above it, and I got deja vu from that too. So I don't know. Some people say that if you get deja vu, it means you're on the right track, or it's where you're supposed to be. So I hope that's the case. Cloud service coming out of China with all the security issues could be true. I mean, here's the thing: China's thing is with their economy, with their companies, is they're basically, a lot of them are basically just kind of cookie cutter versions of the US version. So if Baba, is trying to do a lot of the stuff that Amazon does, I'm not worried about the security as much, just I would be as the growth. Like if the Chinese economy gets back on track growth wise, which I know there was a lot of concerns about that in the past couple of weeks, then I mean, the cloud computing part of Baba will be huge, I believe. I don't know. I mean, I own shares of Baba in my Roth IRA. I'm excited for that breakup because, again, I do think that the cloud computing part of Baba is the one that you want. And again, it'll be Baba providing the services in China. Like it's not like I'm buying Baba's cloud computing because I think they're going to start taking Amazon's clients here in the US. It's just that as the Chinese economy grows, there'll be more and more of a need for these types of cloud computing. And again, Baba, we're going to be able to get exposure to just Baba's cloud computing section of the business. Let me know when you add to your Baba. Probably only, what's it at right now? It's at like $90. Probably I'll add the Baba on any major dips here, or we'll just wait until whenever this thing goes through, and then that way I can, pick and choose which parts of the business that I want to get exposure to, I guess. Oh, yeah, and also just real quick, I'm not saying this is, this means we're going to see a lighter inflation reading tomorrow. I just think this is interesting because you hear this all the time from gold bugs like Peter Schiff and whatnot, that what the U.S. says inflation isn't really real. They lie about the CPI to make it seem like inflation's not that bad, which I have a lot of thoughts about that because, Peter Schiff and all these people that say that weren't saying that when the government was saying inflation's at 10%, 40-year highs. They were saying, yeah, see how high inflation is? So it's like, wait, are these numbers legit or not? I thought you said they weren't legit. B, if I get it, right? Like, I'm skeptical of data and stuff the government puts out too. But if we're just gonna sit up here and say like, oh yeah, those numbers aren't real, then that puts us in a very tough spot because then what can we do? Then we can do that with anything, right? Apple can put out earnings and you can say, okay, but I don't think they really made that much money. I don't think inflation's really what the government's saying it is. But the people are always saying the government is kind of goofing up the inflation numbers, making them, less bad to be. So then this company comes out, Trueflation, and they have their own data of how they're, showing this. And Trueflation, to the U.S.'s credit, a year ago in July, had it at 11.2%. I mean, I think that was higher than what the U.S. showed or what the government showed through CPI. But I mean, look at this trend. I mean, this is incredible. And it's just saying that today's CPI data by Trueflation is at 2.45%. So this is a private company saying that. You can go through here. I'll throw the link in the chat, and you can go through like different. And so they're basically on their own tracking prices, and you can read the methodology right here. Methodology matters. The old metrics can't keep up. Modernizing inflation metrics. So I've been looking at this because I do think probably their Trueflation is using a little bit of a more updated type of methodology, updated way of looking at inflation, whereas now, like the way we get CPI, it's such a you're looking in the rearview mirror. The biggest thing is with rent, the way rent is calculated in CPI. If you just think about it logically, how do people pay for rent? You pay for it monthly, but you sign a year-long lease. So if mortgage rates go up, real estate prices start stagnating or going lower and rent starts falling, you don't see that for like months and months and months because people are still locked into the rent that they, got a year ago. So I think specifically with rent, the way that's calculated in CPI, it's very like old school. So, like I said, I'll drop this link in the chat. Definitely check out this Trueflation site. Very interesting. But yeah, I'm bullish on inflation keeping to fall on continuing to fall, which means I'm bullish on, potentially the opportunity for the Fed to stop raising rates, which means I'm bullish on the market. So those are my thoughts. Again, follow me on Twitter if you want more. We will be back at it again on Thursday. Without further ado, peace and love, y'all. Smash the like if you have not already. See ya.